Nehemiah chapter 3 is going to be a bit of a short one just because he's mainly talking about the people that are helping to build the walls. So remember, they've been focusing on building the temple to reestablish worship and putting those things together as well so that they have the worship, they have a political center and a religious center for Jerusalem. But the wall around the city has not really substantially been improved. So now Nehemiah is wanting to help with that. So these are the names of the people who've helped basically. So we're going to just kind of go through a couple of points in here pretty quickly. So verse 1, then Eliashib, the high priest, rose up with his brethren, the priests, and they builded the sheep gate. Now the sheep gate, if you look at the footnote, says a gate probably in the northeast wall of Jerusalem near the temple for access of sacrificial animals. So if you've looked at the layout of how Jerusalem looks, this is the gate closest probably over by the temple where they could put animals in through the gate to go in and be used for sacrifices. They sanctified it and set up the doors of it even unto the tower of Mia. They sanctified it unto the tower of Hananel. So they kind of, the towers up above on the walls. Verse 2, and next unto him builded the men of Jericho, and next to them Zachor the son of Imri. But the fish gate did the sons of Hassanah build, who also laid the beams thereof, and set the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. Now the fish gate, the footnote says, probably a northwestern gate with access to the merchant's quarter, perhaps where Damascus gate now is. So that you can corroborate that together. It's a good chance it's over by the Damascus gate. You can look that up and see where that is today. And then it's going to go through and talk about the people who helped repair parts of the wall and fix things up, and the different groups that were there and what they were working on. Moreover, let's see, the gate, this is verse 6, repaired. The old gate was repaired. Jehoiada and a few other ones helped repair that and get the locks in place, get everything going. And then, let's see, verse 8, next unto him repaired Uzziel, the son of Hariah of the goldsmiths. Next unto him also repaired Hananiah, the son of one of the apothecaries, or they did perfumes and ointments and things. They fortified Jerusalem unto the broad wall. So there's a lot of people that are helping. If you look through this chapter, you'll see that there's a lot of people that are helping to rebuild Jerusalem. Even in verse 12, we learned that this gentleman and his daughters were helping to rebuild Jerusalem. This was a big community effort, basically. Verse 13 talks about the valley gate, and we can look that up in chapter 2, verse 13. So you go look that up. We talked about that last chapter, the valley gate. Got that together. The dung gate was last chapter as well. Verse 15, the gate of the fountain repaired. Was another part of that, was one of these other gates that we learned about. Again, those were in the last chapter. Let's see, they place over against the sepulchres of David, the pool that was made, the house of the mighty. They have redone a lot. The armory, at the turning of the wall. Let's see, what else is in here? So there's a lot that's happening. Turning of the wall, so the corner, when the wall gets up and the wall turns, so they're getting it all the way around, basically, and putting this in place. They fixed the tower which lieth from the king's high house that was by the court of the prison. The water gate as well, we see that also. The Nethinims that they talk about, those are people who are the servants of the temple that are kind of like the Levites, are there to help at the temple, basically. Verse 28 is the horse gate. This is probably the southeast corner of the temple area where the horse gate was. And then verse 29 is the keeper of the east gate. So they built up the east gate as well. That's probably the area of what's known as the Golden Gate, also for Jerusalem. So anyways, it's just talking about the different gates, the entrances and exits, the towers, get everything in place so that the temple, the wall can be rebuilt up and offer safety and security to Jerusalem to help them out. So let's jump over to chapter 4 as we continue the story.